Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. You're here with Rand Lefevre, otherwise known as DraxxKraven, when it's time to collect a few tales from Richmond. The waitress at this diner is sharing an outlandish tale with one of her regulars. I heard it from my sister-in-law, she says. It happened to her daughter's friend. It's true. She notices you listening. Hey, have you heard this one before? Which one? She regales you with a story about the killer pigeons. Halfway through, you realize that's the story of the pigeon keeper, but highly embellished. What do you think about that? The waitress exclaims. Well, it's certainly an interesting tale. Sure is. True, every word of it. Now, what is this?
By nightfall, the hospitality of this sleepy hamlet, combined with their superstitious tales, has both overstuffed your stomach and filled you with a hollow dread. Folks say these woods are full of apparitions, witches, and worse. You curse yourself for getting on the road so late.
Walk along.
In the moonlight, every
Oh, no.
valley and hollow at the feet of the Tappan Zee seems like a stolen shred of the abyss itself. Fireside tales seem less fanciful, and every cackling crow and moaning whippoorwill seems like a demon perched on the shivering, spindly trees.
Apparently, this is the second Whippoorwill tale. Let's see who dies now.
But something cuts through the noise. The muffled sound of hooves galloping on the cold, muddy road. When he finally slows his horse alongside you, it's as though he had just appeared out of the mist.
Look at him.
He's astride a gigantic black courser, and though his boots are muddy and ragged, he wears an immaculate coat with great, shining buttons. From his saddle hangs an antiquated flintlock and a cavalry saber. In the darkness, you can hardly see above his towering shoulders.
Greet the rider.
His voice is a rumbling croak, deep, but as though his throat is filled with thorns. Have you happened upon a cannonball around here? You can tell English isn't his first language. German is. His hand, so pale it's almost blue in the moonlight, grips the reins in a fist.
I'm sorry, friend. I can't say that I have.
You mumble an apology and watch as he silently rides away, back into the mist. He's cloaked in black, you notice from behind, but the blood running down over his shoulders glints crimson in the moonlight.
Let's move on. Sorry about that, mate. What do we got here?
The lightning starts in the next valley over. Then the wind picks up. The long grass hisses, and suddenly, it's raining so hard you can barely breathe without a hand over your mouth.
Now, this is not like the previous storm we experienced. That was a lightning storm. This seems to be a rainstorm. I'm wondering if we'll be able to mash these storms together into like a megastorm.
The lightning momentarily illuminates a farmhouse on the opposite hilltop, the only one for miles. Much closer, though, is a silhouette of a dilapidated barn.
I'll head for the house.
You pound and pound on the door of the house, but you only get confused shouts from inside. Soon, you give up and head to the unlocked shed, where the empty wood bin makes a good enough bed.
Well, at least it's dry.
In the morning, you're woken suddenly by the sound of clattering china. A tiny old woman bends over you, silently offering you coffee. She serves you half the pot before she lets you get up and leave for the morning.
Move on, then. The storm that caught me outside. All right. Who do we have here? Little Ben, Cumberland Blues.
Sorry, friend, but I gotta ask you not to get no closer unless I can see your hands at all times.
Oh. Seem a little distrustful, Ben.
Look too clean to be one of us. But you don't look like the company sent you, neither. All right, I'm gonna share my fire spell. Don't linger. These hills is full of ears. Don't think just 'cause you can't see no one that you're safe.
Huh. A little paranoid, ain't you?
And I'll give you cornbread. Don't be so sure of me neither.
So you distrust even yourself?
I need a laugh. Know any good jokes?
Man needs a laugh. What do I got for laughs? Creepy Mill? No, that is not funny. The story of the 4 identical men born to 2 different mothers who confused themselves amongst each other. That's about the funniest damn story I got.
You got some wit, stranger.
Thanks.
The past. I remember looking between my mama's ankles down the road. Every evening, she'd be whispering. Still don't know if she would count the workers, praying about them. See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly I just seen dogs.
Exciting stories. I got a bunch of exciting stories. The story of Franklin's travels. A tale of sadness. I still don't have any justice stories or Wheel of Fortunes. Yeah, right, he said exciting. No, that is not exciting. I got scary. The light of sky near Burlington. That'll probably be exciting. Here's hoping that he believes it.
Are you trying to scare me? Every man in the last meeting I ran could tell you a story scarier than that right off the top of his head.
Got it, got it.
Death. Yeah. Little tin of morphine some of us carried down so as to die peaceful just in case.
Holy shit!
Some thought it better to die a sinner than to go with death's hand pulling the breath out of your body slow as he goes. I think God would have forgiven it. He would have had to. What do you think? See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly.
Alright, exciting, exciting. Oh, where's exciting. Let's go with the massive thunderstorm.
You'd be popular at mealtime where I'm from. You'd keep a whole crew glued, I bet.
Nice.
Home? I always wanted a little place where I could watch the sky change color, watch the cook fire smoke, dance up among the pines. See anything exciting out there on the road? Mostly.
Alright, more excitement. This guy's bored as hell. Apparently I got a shit ton of scary stories. Well, Franklin described the story of the bridge builders as a tall tale, so maybe Ben can illuminate more about exactly how this story works.
Brings me back. There was a time when me and Big Ben could just enjoy exciting stories like this one. Innocent.
Big Ben, eh? I wonder where he is.
What's freedom? When the community decides what it's worth? Setting the value of things together? You mean when you don't answer to nobody? Just ain't possible, my friend.
Franklin seems to think otherwise.
Got any funny stories? Must have a...
As far as funny is concerned, I got the story of the girl with the basket of kittens.
Oh boy, you watch out now, I'll start chuckling. Joy, huh? You ever hear music in a cold town? Night falls on a Sunday, you hear church singing. Listen for a while, and the cry? Sure enough, it's a cry. Colored folks, harmonicas coming up from one end of it, joining in. Sound of strings from Italy. The type of song has no country.
Now, do you think that's a bad thing or a good thing, Ben?
It's the sound of the workers' choir.
He thinks it's a good thing.
Morning. I gotta get going. Headed up that way. Won't be specific. For my safety and yours. If you want to find me, then do it. Talk again about these things.
All right, Ben. Catch you later.
Cole ain't got no country. No worker neither. Worker ain't Virginia, Christian, white, colored, Irish, Polish, nothing. A worker is a worker. We all gotta work.
There's truth to that, Ben.
If you're one of them, if you think I sound red, you best come out and say so. Get it over with.
Ooh, more collectivization across this great nation. setting everyone abuzz with the opposite of elation. Alright, let's head up Washington Way. I spy with my little eye a very long series of campfires, and I would... Ah, darn it. Strange, everyone seems to be leaving Washington, going someplace else. Alright, we'll cross here. I think we should probably head into Washington real quick. Explore a little. Big cities seem to have some of the best stories.
The mailman's uniform is dated and worn. He sits on the edge of the road, head in hands. He looks up as you approach. Can you help? Car clipped me. I think my legs... Well, I'd appreciate it if you could deliver this for me. He holds out a brown envelope.
Just a letter? Yeah, I could deliver that.
The letter's addressed to a James Gibson Sr., 120 J Street. But the city stymies you. The blocks run straight from I to K. You stop a man for directions, but he shakes his head and laughs. Someone's playing a joke on you. There's no J Street.
No, I gotta keep looking.
Over here. A woman in a brown coat overheard your question. She steers you down an alley. Someone's chalked a big orange J on one wall. I thought Clovis was late. Go left up ahead. Old Man Gibson's the third on the right.
Go on alone.
As you round the corner, the world changes. J Street is a place out of time. Like the city forgot an entire street a century ago and carried on around it, oblivious. Even the noise and bustle of D.C. can't penetrate this little pocket.
Knock on Gibson's door.
The man who answers is ancient and stooped. He peers at the letter. I think it's from my son. I don't see so well anymore. Will you read it to me? You tear the letter open. It isn't good news.
Time to add another sad story to my... No, I'll lie.
You read the letter, omitting a few key details, but his face still falls. I don't think he's coming home, he says. It's been so long. I don't think he's ever coming back. He takes the letter. Thank you for bringing word, at least.
I'll just move on. The Strange Street Lost in Time, DC. I don't know what it is. My computer is suddenly hating these whistle mechanics. Alright. Is this Quinn? We're back to Quinn? No, Mason. Pay for your life.
My twin brother Paul and I always got into trouble, but we were good.
Oh god, this poor bastard. Okay.
We didn't do nothing to anybody till we left. Then we hurt a lot of people. Me, more so than Paul, because he didn't make it through. The march I was on, the bonus army. It's less a bonus and more an acknowledgement of what I've had to suffer. Civilians will never understand. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
Let me tell you about the story of the Blessed Lighthouse Sanctuary, where souls in love can find respite.
For a moment there, just a moment, I felt better about it all too. Love? It was a real long time ago. Pulled a ribbon on her hair, and her pigtails came undone, and she tattletaled on me. Never really tried after that. Paul used to collect scary stories. Do you know a good one?
You want to get spooked? I got some scary stories for you. Tell the story of the Whippoorwill watching for death.
I don't mean to be rude, but civvies don't understand what real tragedy is.
Got it.
Change. Tanks seem to be the ones bringing about change. First, in no man's land, and then on the steps of Washington, D.C. I was amazed the first time I saw one. The second time, afraid. And all the times after that, revolted. So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones.
That I do. Queen of Cups. Oh, I should have gone with the creepy mill. Funny story. I gotta go with the 4 identical men born to 2 different mothers who confuse themselves amongst each other. And I will always say the whole thing.
Wish I could tell that one to my sister. The past doesn't even feel like it happened. It feels like it's happening in every moment, in every slumber.
That sounds like a little bit of the PTSD. You been shell-shocked, man?
When the memories come back to you, do they clutch at you? At your heart? Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones?
That I do. Justice. Lil Ben's struggles. Happy stories, eh? I got a few. Not many, though. Sadly. It's sadness. Oh, the seagulls. The gulls are always the good one when it comes to a happy tale.
I liked that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly.
Thanks, Mason.
The future's the issue, ain't it? The Great War leaves us nothing to go back to, plucking up the hope and leaving us only with the vile and the unforgiven. Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore.
Oh my god, that is quite possibly one of the saddest statements I've ever heard. Like, not only, it is not that this character, it's not as if Mason cannot understand humor, it's that he has become in himself so humorless, telling a joke is impossible. Holy fuck. Alright, well, when in doubt, we got the story of the basket of kittens. 2 of pentacles, pure joy.
Yeah, Paul would have liked that one. Joy? Getting your hands into the earth and helping something grow. That'll bring anyone joy. Anyone with a bit of humanity in them. Here's the sun. I've got to go. I'm headed up the road this way. Will our paths cross?
At some point, I suspect. But I'm headed a bit more northward.
The days come and go and the terrors return. They'll never be able to pay back what they owe me, but I'll always keep at them.
Right on, Mason.
What about you? Is there something somebody owes you?
You know more than you do. My. Let's head up to Philly. We got Mason's Loss tucked away for now. Something we'll be able to keep with us for a while. Seems like something's going on Philly.
The woman finds you as you wander the streets. "Come with me, child," she says, looking you up and down. "We're going to church."
I don't like the look of this woman, but let's see what the church is.
You follow her to a simple clapboard building. There's no steeple, but a cross is painted on one side.
Oh boy.
Inside, after a rousing sermon, you're treated to a meal and given a worn but clean set of clothes. Works and not faith alone might be the motto of this place.
Oh. The mysterious woman who wanted to go to church. Well then. Anyway, that'll do for this episode of Let's Play Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. If you liked what you saw, hit like. If you want to continue the adventure, please hit subscribe. And if you think that what I do is really keen, you can send me a couple bucks monthly on Patreon. I can use that money to do fantastic, amazing things like make more videos, start streaming, hiring artists to do cool shit, do the coolest thing I can think of. I want to talk to everyone. I want to meet